Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the New Jersey Devils, their 7th overall pick, and who they might select on draft day. Now, for the 2020 NHL draft, we've gone over a few picks already on this channel in depth, talking about the LA Kings 2nd overall, the Ottawa Senators, and their 3rd and 5th overall picks as well. But the New Jersey Devils at number 7 is one of the picks out there that we know so far that interests me the most. And we already know a few prospects that are likely not going to be there, like Alexis, Lafreniere, Tim Stützle, Quinn Byfield, but I think there's going to be a lot of options for the Devils, and I see the Devils looking in a lot of different directions at number 7. So, who do I see as the best fits for the New Jersey Devils as it stands, and who do I think they will select at number 7 in the 2020 NHL Draft? Watch till the end for all my picks and predictions, and of course, hit that big red subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Now, besides the guys I already mentioned in Alexis Lafreniere, Quinn Byfield, and Tim Stützle, besides those 3 guys, it is pretty much wide open on who the Devils might have available at number 7. Even some of the guys that I don't think aren't as likely to be available, guys like Drysdale, Jake Sanderson, maybe even a Marco Rossi, all 3 of those guys, I could see a world where they're available at number 7. And I think no matter what, the Devils will have some quality prospects to choose from. Now, I think personally for them, the worst possible scenario is the top 3 prospects go top 3. You have Jake Sanderson, and you have Drysdale go into the top 6, and maybe at number 6 you see Marco Rossi go. I think that might be the worst case scenario for them, but even if that ends up happening, you have Raymond, Alexander Holtz, Anton Landeskog, Raffetti, some amazing forwards to choose from. So even in that scenario where they lose, they don't really lose. So at number 7, it's a pretty good spot to be in. And that really is the beauty of this 7th overall pick, because unless they pick somebody random like a Kane Wylie, I don't think they can do too much wrong at 7th overall. So I decided to go through all of these prospects, see who would be the best fit for the Devils at number 7, and see who is the most likely player to be selected with that 7th overall pick. Now, I have 4 different tiers here today. I almost said here's. I have no idea what's happening right now. Tier 1 is the most likely to be selected. Tier 2 is semi-likely to be picked. That name is a work in progress, so bear in mind that. Tier 3 is the outside shot to be 7th overall, and Tier 4 is they will not select this player 7th overall. And we're going to start out in that Tier 1, and I'm just assuming that in a world where you have Alexis Lafreniere, you have Quinn Byfield, and Tim Stützle, the rest of the prospects could potentially be available for the Devils. I'm factoring in all those prospects as well. And starting us out in that Tier 1, first and foremost, I have Drysdale from the Erie Otters. And I think he is the guy that if they were 4th overall, they would probably end up selecting. And I think at 7th overall, again, it is a pretty big stretch for him to actually be available there. There is still the possibility. Now, personally, if I was Anaheim and Jake Sanderson was there or Drysdale was there, I think Anaheim might just go for it, but they could also be in a scenario where they go after a guy like a Marco Rossi. I could also see that happening. And in that scenario where Drysdale is available at number 7, I see no way that they pass him up for any other prospect. Now going on to the second player in Tier 1, the most likely to be selected 7th overall, I have Jake Sanderson. Now, Jake Sanderson is a guy that's been rising up the ranks over the past year, and for very good reason. He has really improved himself, especially in the defensive zone where he is, in my opinion, better than a guy like Drysdale. And I think when it comes to the Devils, even though I have him ranked 16 in my prospect rankings, if the Devils were to go with him at number 7, I can totally see why. He provides some excellent strength alongside some great size, and defensively has a lot of awareness, a lot of IQ, and I think can provide some excellent value there. And I think he's a guy that is more likely to not be available at number 7 as the days goes on, because I could totally see him also maybe going at number 4, number 5. It depends on what happens, but I think Jake Sanderson is a guy that defensively can provide some strong shutdown ability for the Devils alongside a guy like Ty Smith on that blue line. I think it would be a pretty good fit. Even though I wouldn't select him 7th overall, I could see why the Devils would do it. And then going on to our final player in Tier 1, and our most likely to be picked tier, I have Swedish winger Alexander Holtz. Now, personally, I wouldn't select Alexander Holtz at number 7. I think there would be some better players available, but just like Jake Sanderson, I can totally see where the Devils would come from if they were to select him there. Personally, I think he is the best goal scorer of this draft, and even though there is some big flaws in his game, I think the Devils might be able to work it out. And at number 7, he provides some great offensive value. Pairing him alongside a guy like a Nico Hischier or a Jack Hughes, I think would just do wonders. He wouldn't be available right out of the gate in the NHL, which I don't think would be the case for pretty much any prospect they select 7th overall. But I think for the Devils, after that year, he can provide some strong value as a rookie, as a 19-year-old, and hopefully be a big part of that top 6 going forward. Now we're going to get into tier 2, and I'm just going to name it the tier below tier 1. And when it comes to these prospects specifically, these are guys that I wouldn't be exactly surprised about New Jersey going with. It would just be a little bit more surprising compared to the players in tier 1. Now we're going to start out in that tier 2 with the other Swedish winger in Lucas Raymond. And when it comes to Lucas Raymond especially, that's a guy that if he was available at number 7, I would absolutely take. But I can also see why New Jersey would be a little bit hesitant and maybe pick another guy like an Alexander Holtz. The reason because of that is simply put for New Jersey as well, and it's a pretty specific case in this instance, but when it comes to Lucas Raymond, he doesn't really fix any of their weaknesses in maybe goal scoring, in defensive play, but he absolutely adds to their strengths in playmaking, and I think Lucas Raymond can provide some amazing value in offensive IQ and amazing skill, and if you pair him alongside a guy like a Jack Hughes or a Nico Hischier, that would just be so beautiful to watch. And at number 7, personally, I have him ranked number 4 in my rankings, but getting him at number 7 would be, in my opinion, one of the steals in that top 15. Then going on to the next player in tier 2, I have Austrian center Marco Rossi. Now the main reason I am a little bit hesitant to confirm that Marco Rossi is going to the Devils is because of the position he plays. He is a center, and I think he will be a center for the Devils. And if he were to go to the Devils, I think he would be a good pick for them. I think I have him ranked number 5, but I'm not sure where he would really fit on that team. For me personally, I want to see Jack Hughes, I want to see Nico Hischier be the top 2 centers of the future for that team, and I'm not really sure where Marco Rossi fits there. Maybe you have Nico Hischier as their 3rd line center, but to me, that's a little bit excessive. I think it's more likely that they go for a winger, go for a defenseman, and that's not really a fault against Marco Rossi because I think he is a top 5 prospect in this draft, but it's more about position. Just like Lucas Raymond, he doesn't really fix any weaknesses, and I don't think centers were really the weakness for New Jersey in the first place. Then going on to the next player in tier 2, and the final player in tier 2, I have Raffetti from the Saginaw Spirit. Now, just like Marco Rossi, he is pegged to be a center, but I would also not be surprised if he ended up being a winger in his NHL career, just for the fact that his speed might not be as good as it could be, and I think with everything else, though, he could be a great pick for the Devils. Some great, amazing offensive IQ with some solid and sweet skill and a fantastic scoring ability that I think would be great alongside a Jack Hughes or a Nico Hischier, especially on a power play. Now getting us inside tier 3 and the outside shots. These are pretty much the long shots to be drafted 7th overall, but I could still see it happening if some wacky universe were to happen. Now, at 7th overall, the first player I have in tier 3 is Anton Landeskog. And personally, I think Anton Landeskog will be a pretty great fit for the Devils. He can provide some excellent defensive value. I think he is the best defensive center, defensive forward in this draft. And I think forward-wise, he can really bring something that New Jersey lacks, that pure defensive IQ, and he just knows how to play in his own end, which is almost a breath of fresh air. Then going on to the next player in Jack Quinn. And to me, this is a lot more of a bet for that second pick they might have. If that Vancouver pick were to go to them, or that Arizona pick, which would only be lottery protected, scratch that. Only the Vancouver pick here. But if they were to get a top 15 pick around the 10 to 15 range, I think Jack Quinn will be a wonderful fit for the Devils. Now, it also does depend on who they select 7th overall. Let's say it's a guy like a Jake Sanderson, and you get a guy like Jack Quinn in that top 15. I think that would be an excellent duo to have in that top 15. You get Jake Sanderson, who provides some awesome defensive value that New Jersey needs, and you get Jack Quinn, who you put alongside Jack Hughes, and they just absolutely roll off each other. Jack Quinn, the amazing goal scorer, and Jack Hughes in a great playmaking mix. I think that would be a pretty great fit for the Devils, but I'm not sure they go for him at 7th overall. I think that would be a little bit of a reach. Then going on to my third and final player at this spot, and this is probably the biggest reach out of them all, but in a tiny tiny universe where things are all crazy, I could see it happening. That being defenseman Brettschneider. Now, I've seen some people throw around that maybe Caden Gooley might be their 7th overall pick. To me, Brettschneider is a much better fit for the Devils, and I think if they were to take a guy like that 7th overall, it would be Schneider. Now, I didn't really mention any ranking of anything of who I think is most likely to be selected by New Jersey, but I kind of already gave it away with my tier list order. I think, let's say, if they are 4th overall, I think the most likely scenario they go with is this: Jimmy Drysdale as the most likely to be picked, then you have Jake Sanderson, Alexander Holtz, and then Raymond, Rossi, Raffetti in kind of their own tier. Now, let's say in a hypothetical world that it's Alexis Lafreniere, Quinton Byfield, Tim Stützle, and then Detroit takes Jake Sanderson, maybe Ottawa takes Jamie Drysdale, and then number 6, it's Alexander Holtz. To me, the pick would be Lucas Raymond, and I think New Jersey would go that way. But you also have Marco Rossi, you also have Cole Perfetti as 2 other guys that I could totally also see New Jersey going. And again, that top 6 could also happen. I mean, Anaheim could really use a guy like Alexander Holtz. So this whole conversation obviously depends on what is going to happen, but to me, it is going to be an absolute bonkers top 10 with a lot of surprises. And if that top 6 were to happen that way, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised. So for the Devils, the best you can do is prepare. And hey, if you're at number 7 and you have Lucas Raymond available, take him. It's not that hard. But that'll be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, each and every single one of y'all. As you can tell, also, I have my cooler with a little bit of a smiley face today because he's feeling happy as I am that hockey is back, baby. Let's frickin' go. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Make sure you comment down below. Who do you think the Devils will select 7th overall, and who do you want them to select with that number 7 pick? Let me know all your thoughts. Share this video with your friends, any NHL fans out there, but especially Devils fans if you know any. Get the word out there, and click on this card as well for all of my 2021 NHL draft content right in one playlist. The 2020 draft playlist is probably going to be earlier in this video, so you've been warned. Anyways, my name is Nathan. I love y'all faces. Thanks so much. We are on the way now to 17K subscribers. That is insane. I love y'all. The playoffs are almost here. Let's do this thing. Goodbye.